What is going on, YouTube? I'm back with another Minecraft video. I am here with all my prisoners. I gave them permission to stop working and go to sleep, except for this guy behind me, not him. So I have a little bit of an announcement to make. This world I'm playing in is actually a realm. This is the first time I've ever been in a realm. I just got invited to it the other day. There's quite a bit of stuff in this realm. One thing I thought was interesting is I think there's only one other guy that actually knows a lot about Minecraft, and everybody else is pretty much in the Stone Age when it comes to like Minecraft knowledge and stuff like that. Now, nothing against them. Like I'm not trying to make fun of them or anything, but they don't know how to use farms. They're still doing everything like manually. See, I'll show you over here. This is the guy's base that actually like knows a lot about Minecraft. So that's his base. But over here, see, this is pretty much where everybody is at. They got like minecart tracks, so they still get around with minecarts and stuff like that. This literally goes for a long way. It goes between basically everybody's spaces. He was still shearing everything manually. He was still killing everything manually, breeding it all manually, stuff like that. Everything in here you see, it's all manual farms. Everything is manual. Everything is done by hand. So when I got into the world, the first thing I saw was their state. I saw what they were building out of. It's just like the regular blocks that have been in the game forever, which is whatever. Once again, not trying to like bash them or anything, because I get it. Not everybody plays Minecraft and knows a lot about the game. So I understand. So the first thing I asked them, I was like, okay, like, what do you want me to start automating? Because I already have so many ideas. First thing I saw was the melon and pumpkins. I was like, I could make a melon and pumpkin farm. I can make this a hell of a lot easier. So the first thing I started with was this automatic sheep shearing farm. That was actually perfect. It just showed you it right there. So I built this real quick. It's not very well decorated at all. So I'm basically right now, I'm just going around making farms for people because they think this is the coolest stuff in the world when like this is totally new to them pretty much. So I made this, how it works. If you want to see, if you're not aware how it works. So up there, the sheep is standing on a dirt block right now. That dirt block will turn into a grass block because of these grass blocks in between the sheep. So right there, this sheep is probably going to eat soon because he's on a grass block. When he eats the grass block, he will grow his wool back. And then there are observers facing into the grass block that they're standing on. So when they eat the grass block, they will not only grow their wool back, but the observer will see them eat the grass block. It will send a redstone signal to this dispenser, which has shears in it, and it will shear the sheep automatically. So then it just drops the wool at their feet. And then there is a minecart hopper going all the way across, and it's going back and forth, and it's picking up all the wool and it's dumping it into this chest. He wanted a bunch of different types of wool, and I will show you that in a second. Now here's one big difference about the way I play Minecraft and the way these guys do. So this specific guy, he's absolutely 100% more dedicated to this than I would ever be. So this is the cave that's under his house. This is something that I would never even think about committing myself to. They got like ice tunnels for boats. You can speed down. It's fast, I guess. It just takes so much time to build those. But anyways, this is what I was wanting to show you. Look how big this cave is. First of all, he's dug most of this out by himself, lit it all up. You'll notice that you see like little to no ore around this entire place. I say that as I look up and see ore. But anyways, there is like almost zero ore left. He's mined it all. And then this is what the wool is for. He's done all of this by hand, dug it all by hand, and look how far he's going to take it. It goes forever. And literally the only reason he wants to do this, and I think he might even go farther, maybe not though, but the only reason he wants to do this is so he can fly through it just like I just did, just to see how cool it looks. That is the only reason. And then also right here, he's built a little village. I don't exactly know why he chose to do this in the middle of the tunnel and like this far down. I really don't get it, but I mean, I think it's kind of funny. It's kind of like you're on acid or something. It's kind of like you're just flying through here through another dimension like Doctor Strange. And then you come through here and you're just like, oh, this is my own little world, I guess. It's like a little simulation. And then you fly through here, and I think he's just going to continue the wool. So I'm going to walk through here just so you can get a feel of how, like, look at the pattern, the blue, and then it connects, and it connects, and it connects. And like this would take forever. This would take so much focus and patience. And he was getting all of this wool manually. He didn't have this automated at all. He was like, yeah, I would just sit and shear sheep for like 45 minutes to an hour at a time. And like, what? I don't understand. I personally could not see myself doing this. So I think this whole series, I guess this might be a series. I don't know. I just wanted to show you guys. I think this is really cool. Because I, as a mid-level experienced Minecraft player, like I'm not some Minecraft genius by any means, but when I'm around these guys, like I'm showing them the stuff that's like most simple to me, and they're like, dude, this is so cool. This is insane. And they actually genuinely want to learn how to build the stuff, and I think that's really cool. So I think I found a pretty cool group of people to join. So when I was building this thing, like this is fairly simple. It's a very simple concept when you break it down. This was the other thing I built for him. Once again, very common. You breed the cows up here, the baby flows down, drops into here, and then you press the button for lava and it kills the adults. It doesn't kill the babies. When there's babies down here, the babies aren't tall enough to hit the lava. And then you just get leather and cooked steak. Not to get sidetracked, but I just looked over there and saw it, so I figured I'd explain it real quick. But anyways, this is when you break it down, this is a really bare bones farm. Like when you think about it, it's pretty basic. Like there's little to no redstone at all. It looks kind of funny. It looks kind of cool, especially with all the colored sheep. You can decorate this thing. You can customize it. You can make it better. You can make it taller. You can do whatever you want. You can hook a sorting system up to it, so you don't have to do this in the chest. And then you could put like a chest under here. You could do all kinds of stuff with this farm. It's very, very basic. And I showed this to this guy. I just started making it. I just asked him what he wanted made it out of, how many sheep he wanted, how many colors of sheep he wanted, where at he wanted it placed in his base. And I thought that was just gonna be it. Like I thought he was gonna go do his own thing, but he literally stayed by my side the entire time and just watched. So I started building it and I looked at him. I was like, so what are you working on? I thought he was just going to go piss off and do his own thing. But he was like, oh, I was going to sit here and help you. I was like, okay. Like he was like, oh yeah, I want to learn how to do this. I think this is cool. So not a lot of people actually have that quality where they actually want to learn and see how this stuff is done. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, all the cow, he was doing everything manually. Creeper, hostile mob farm here. So they have like some automation, but once again, I think the guy whose base is right there, the guy who actually knows a little bit about the game, he built this, I'm pretty sure, I would imagine. Yeah, so they got a little bit of hostile mob loot plus a shitload of gunpowder. And then this game, they explained it to me, is called Catan. It's a board game, I guess, in real life, and I don't understand it. I've never played it. I've never even heard of it. It looks pretty complicated, but I'm not sure how it works, but they say it's really fun and they like to play it. So they built an entire board game of it. And they're talking about building more. So hopefully we get to play that sometime soon. I'll have to try to learn how to play it. So like I said, their building technique is pretty basic, and that's cool. Like nothing wrong with that. But down here, I thought this was cool. I actually wouldn't have been able to do something like this by myself without like looking up a bunch of inspiration. I did actually really like the setup of this base and the use of like the different blocks, and it's also not like the most basic blocks you can use. These are actually tough blocks to build with. So here's a little bit of an iron farm. I think it works pretty well. Once again, that was built by him. And then this is actually the guy who got me on the server. He actually just started playing Minecraft. So this is his house. He just built into the side of a mountain, which is usually how everybody starts out. That's definitely how I started out. That's how I played Minecraft for a long time. I would never even build. I would just like make the mountain my own house. I think a lot of people do that. But so after I built a couple farms for that guy, I wanted to start building my own stuff. So I came over to, that was my friend's place who got me onto the server. So his place is right here. He's getting like his own farms and stuff like that set up behind his house. So I figured I would be his neighbor so I could have a bunch of farms really close to him and help him out and teach him more stuff about the game. So I came over here. I made a little bit of a tree mining farm. How this works is it's pretty straightforward. You plant trees up there, they grow, and then all their drops just drop and flow into the hopper, and then they collect in a chest down there. So that way you don't have to like sit around, run all over the place, and then worry about having drops all over that you have to pick up. Say you want one spruce tree or whatever, you can plant your tree, mine it really quick, and then you're gonna get like a stack and a half of spruce logs just from that one tree, and then everything else you can just walk away and it'll collect itself. So then it just collects all the stuff and you can walk away and you don't have to worry about like losing all the drops and stuff like that. So that's a very basic farm, because that's another thing they were doing manually. They just have like a big field of just random trees that they were just mining and then collecting all the stuff, waiting on the leaves to break, you know. Little lava farm. I took the cauldrons out because I'm messing with villagers. They kept connecting to the cauldrons. Little bit of a lava farm just because it's kind of annoying to find lava. Yeah, here's all the stuff from that. This is actually my most proud farm that I have ever made, and it was not one of the simplest ones, but it's very, very easy. The hardest part, those are armadillos right there, that noise that you're hearing. I couldn't find any allays, so I saw that you could do this with armadillos too. This is the new armadillo / allay XP silverfish spawner farm thing. Yeah, that's the title. So as I understand it, cactus is down there. That's what's injuring the armadillos. And the reason they're not dying is because they are in their shell. The reason they're in their shell is because there's a zombie right here. And when they are in their shell, I guess they are immune to passive damage. So like walking into a cactus, something like that. I don't know. They don't die from the cactus. That's all I know. And that's because they stay in their shell. When you splash an infestation potion and something takes damage, it basically just spawns silverfish around. But that being said, there's 5 armadillos in there, which was an absolute nightmare to get in there. They have to be absolutely perfectly lined up to fit in there. So that was a hassle. It took me like almost an hour just to get those in there. Other than that, this farm is super simple. And obviously it takes like no resources at all. So they're in the composter. So then you splash an infestation potion on the armadillos, and then they are getting injured. So they spawn the silverfish. The silverfish have nowhere else to spawn but right there. So they spawn in the water, and then they blow this way. And then this up here, I'm in Bedrock Edition. So trident killers are the only way. The armor stand deal, like where you hit the armor stand with your sword, that doesn't work here. I'm pretty sure that only works on Java Edition because you don't have sweeping edge on your sword in Bedrock Edition. So what you do is you take 3 tridents and then you throw them at this trap door, and you have to stand. I have this, so you can stand up here. You throw them at the door, the trap door, before you splash them with an infestation potion. You throw 3 tridents up here, and then you turn this on, which then makes these observers are just like seeing each other over and over. That's why it's spamming like that, because they're constantly just seeing each other updated. So they're constantly spamming a redstone output. And this lever is just to lock this trapdoor just so it's not annoying all the time. And the reason that you get XP for that is because when you throw the trident and then they're just moving around, it's basically essentially like you hitting the silverfish yourself with a trident. So then that's why it gets XP, because if it just killed them automatically, it wouldn't drop XP. So this trapdoor doesn't even have to be here. I just like to put it here just to get a little more space in between me and the tridents, just so I don't pick them up, because that is really frustrating. When you have a ton of silverfish in there and you're up here and you throw a trident, the tridents bounce out and then land on the blocks. So then it doesn't work. So it's an absolute nightmare if you pick the tridents up, because if you stop killing the silverfish, then they're just going to keep building up and up and up and up. And then you will be lagging your ass off. You will no longer have an ass because it will be off from the amount of lag that you will be doing. So I would recommend this to be one of the first farms that you make in your world ever. It's super easy. You do need a name tag, so that is one of the hardest things. Other than that, everything is super easy to get. You need 3 tridents, which is not the easiest thing to get, but it's doable. You need observers, and then you need armadillos. So I am actually right next to a savanna biome, so armadillos spawn. I literally just made a staircase up to my base right here. It was super, super convenient and super easy. Only annoying thing was getting the armadillos in there. It can be done. I saw somebody on the tutorial I watched say that it wouldn't work. The armadillos wouldn't go in the composter on Bedrock Edition, but they will. I struggled with it a lot, but you just have to make sure that they are perfectly lined up with the square of the composter. So they basically have, if I'm like this, they have to be facing directly towards me. And then you sprint to make them go in their shell, and then you just very, very precisely move them into the square of the composter, and eventually they will fall. And I have 5 in there. I think it'll work with more. You're just not going to have as many silverfish spawning the less armadillos you have. But also, if you go over 5, you're probably going to have a lot of lag, because that's going to be probably too many silverfish all at once. Okay, so here's how this works. You go up here and you... this is the first thing you want to do, because you don't want to wait until there's silverfish in there, or tridents will just bounce off and it'll be a nightmare. Then you throw the tridents, you get off. Don't go up there anymore, because you'll pick the tridents up. But if I'm out, ooh, I about did it on accident. But yeah, as long as you're outside here, you won't pick the tridents up. I just like to have a little bit more security, just so I make sure that I don't pick them up, because like I said, it is a nightmare. So then what you do, break this glass. I like to turn the farm on first, and then you throw the potion, put the glass back, and you literally just sit here and look how quick that just mended that. All my stuff mends so fast. My sword doesn't have mending, but all my stuff is already mended. And now I can just sit here for the rest of the time and get levels. I think I was at level 41 when I started. So I guess I'll put a little timer on the screen to make sure to see how long this actually does last. And it'll show you how much XP you can get. Yeah, so right there, I think it's only 1 minute and 20 seconds. So I went from level 41 to level 50 in whatever time is on screen. I'm guessing that was 1 minute and 20 seconds, because that was not 3 minutes at all. Not exactly sure why that's the case, because I still have the potion effect. I don't know why it does that, but it's still super helpful. Like, even just that little bit of time is all you're gonna need, because if I was a lower level, I would have gotten so much more XP. Like, I went 9 levels right there. Like I said earlier, if you went from level 0, you would get to level 30 plus in just that amount of time. So I went 9 levels and I mended all my stuff. It is an absolutely insane XP farm, and that was one thing that those guys were absolutely baffled by. So enough about that. I would recommend doing that first, or as soon as you can in your world. It's super helpful. But in here is my villager breeder. It's super simple. Once again, I'm going very basic because I want to be as efficient as possible, and I want to get stuff set up very quick, and I just want to show these guys more and more farms. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on one farm at a time. So it's 6 beds right here. 2 composters for these guys, just so they have a profession. You can use whatever professions you want. So these guys are here. They're on a block with trapdoors around it. And then all you do is you come up here, you just give them a shitload of carrots. The trapdoors are around this block, because once a baby spawns, it will try to walk over these trapdoors, because entities or mobs or whatever, they see trapdoors as full blocks. So they think they can walk across it because they think it's a full block, but they can't. So they fall in the water goes down in here, and then they just flow right to here, which then you can put a minecart down and they will just phase through this corner right here if they're pushed up against the corner. So I think it's super cool. So it's a cool little, another little starter farm. And I just got done transporting these guys. I do have a couple more that I want, but right now I just wanted the best enchantment. So I got mending, of course, looting 3, and these guys are all super expensive. So the next thing I'm going to do, once I get all my villagers in here, I get all the trades I want. I'm going to make a villager killing and healing chamber right outside. Then I'm going to make them all like 1 emerald, or as cheap as they can possibly be. So I'm going to have 1 emerald for a protection fort, just 1 emerald for everything. Every trade is going to be super cheap. Also, this is a great way of getting XP as well. This realm is in hard mode, so I have to use iron doors on all my villager stuff. So that's why that's there. I do need to decorate this stuff a little more. I tried to make this one look okay. This is okay. Not my best work. I'm not really a fan of the window, honestly, but can't really be bothered by it right now. So, and then just over here, I made a mini version of the sheep farm, or the wool farm that I showed you earlier, and it works pretty well, as you can see. That's probably from, I don't know, a couple hours. It's not the most efficient thing because I only have 3 sheep. So yeah, these are my starter farms for now. The reason I have the wool over there, one is for beds. So when I go netherite mining, I can just make a bunch of beds. Also, it's going to be part of what I'm building my house out of. I do have another video on this channel. I want to build the same version of that house. I made a little YouTube short out of it. I really like that house, and I think that if I make that house in this world, it will blow these guys away. So I think that'd be cool. It's just going to be kind of difficult to get all the building materials. I really want to use the new stuff. I haven't done anything with the creakings. I haven't done anything with trial chambers. So yeah, I think this realm has a a lot of potential, and I think this is going to be a little side project or my main project, depending on what you guys watch more of. My last episode of Swero Survival, which is my single player, my personal, like, I guess I'm going to call it my forever world. I do want to do a lot on that. I want to get better at building. I want to build cool farms, but this just is a lot more motivating because there's other people here. Other people are building. Other people can help me with stuff. I can help other people with stuff. You can get ideas. It's just more enjoyable when you're playing Minecraft with other people too, and it's other people who want to learn. That is a big motivation to keep playing on this realm. The biggest reason I wouldn't want to make this my main project or my main series, I guess, is because this is Bedrock Edition, and it is what it is. But I think I've been playing Java for the past like few months. I haven't played Bedrock in a long time, so now I'm used to Java, so everything's all different again. I do like Java a lot more. It's faster, it's more efficient, there's more in it. There's more capabilities with like mods and stuff like that. But anyways, I think this world has a lot of potential. I think it's really cool. I think it's already been a lot of fun. The people I'm playing with are pretty cool. I like teaching people new stuff. I can teach them tips on building. I can teach them plenty of farming tips. And also they ask a bunch of questions that also I don't know the answer to. So then I'll look it up and then I'll learn something. So that is one good thing about like playing with other people, is that they might know stuff that I don't know. So then they can teach me stuff. But also when they don't know something that I know and I'm able to teach them, that helps me like learn it or retain it better or have a better understanding for it. So that's cool. Like my philosophy with Minecraft and literally anything in life is this stuff is very time consuming. Like this stuff doesn't happen quickly. How long it probably took to gather all these resources and do this, it probably took many hours. And time, you never know how much time you have on this world, so you don't want to waste time. So if you're going to be doing something which seems as meaningless as playing a video game, then you might as well be as good as you possibly can, learn as much as you can, and just be as good as you can in every area possible. So farming, building, combat, stuff like that. You might as well be good at it if you're going to spend so much time on it. The way I look at it, and nothing against these guys, but like those blocks a lot of those blocks have been in the game since the game was made. Minecraft has so much potential and so many new blocks and so many styles that you can do. So like, I don't personally like building with the same stuff that they've had in the game forever. But that's just me. That is nothing against people that do like to build that way or don't know how to build any other way. But that's another great thing about Minecraft, is that literally there are no rules. You can do whatever you want. You can play however you want. You don't have to be the greatest. You don't have to constantly improve to enjoy the game. Like the guy that dug that big wool tunnel, he's like, this is the stuff I like to do. I don't know why. It's just when I started playing the game, I played with a guy who knew what he was talking about, and he always did the building, I always did the mining, and I would just be mining for hours, and that's what I found joy in. So that's what I like to do. So that he made the tunnel, and that's why he's been able to do that for so long without getting sick of it. That's just what he likes to do. I personally wouldn't be able to do it for 2 hours. I wouldn't make it 2 hours in that tunnel. No way. That's the amazing thing about Minecraft, is that literally it doesn't matter who you are. You can find something to do that you're going to enjoy in the game, and like that can be your thing. You can do whatever you want. Not a lot of games have this much freedom. And I think that's why Minecraft has been so timeless and been so relevant over this many years. What is it, like almost a 15-year-old game or something like that? So yeah, not really going to be a whole lot of anything done in this episode. I was just wanting to announce that I am going to be playing this realm a lot. So I think this will be a good way to kick the channel off and get stuff started and get a little introduction to the channel and my style of playing and editing and stuff like that. So it'll also get me better about how to record, how to edit. I just want to make more content so I can get better at editing. I can get better at literally everything that goes into video making. And let me tell you, there is a hell of a lot more than you know if you don't make your own videos yourself. It is not easy. It's a lot of work, which is why I want to improve on it. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to see where we go with this realm. I have a bunch of plans. This is where my house is going to be, right behind me. I already have a bunch of plans for what I want to do. The series is basically going to be like me just showing a bunch of cavemen how to use a cell phone, basically. I don't mean to sound like high and mighty, or I don't want that to sound like an insult to them, but I think it's going to be really cool. So anyways, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.